I wanted to just come on today. Um, I am in a bun life on this very beautiful New Year's Day. I just wanted to come in and say hello. I had a few minutes before I actually go and have New Year's dinner on today. So I just wanted to come in and say hello to you guys and just talk a little bit about what's going on in my heart on today. We're going to be talking about the high value tribe and connecting with amazing women. This was just on my heart from this weekend. I, of course, had an opportunity to see a lot of beautiful people who are present in my life, either through the Christmas holidays and all this week. And if I did not get a chance to see a number of people in my life, I actually got a chance to talk with them on the phone. And so the last few weeks have been a lot of, have centered a lot around community for me, right? And so I'm going into the new year just kind of taking that same energy, and I wanted to just talk about what does that look like in your life right now. I know that there are a lot of people right now who are maybe transitioning in different places in life, and so I don't know how community looks in your life, but I just want to always open you guys, or open up my heart, and also open up the work that I'm doing here on YouTube, and welcome you into our community. And so, what does the high value woman, what does her tribe look like, right? How does she decide on her connections? That's a really, really important topic as you are on your personal growth, your self improvement, and your level up journey. It's really, really important to know how to make new connections, how to show up in rooms that you may not have shown up in the past. When you are on a journey to make your life better, when you are on a journey to increase your consciousness, increase your awareness, you've been through some things, that maybe how you started your life, how your parents started you off, or some of the roads that you took in your past just really are not serving where you want to go in your future. And so you are like, okay, it is time for me to reconnect and refigure this whole relationship thing out. I wanted to just discuss, how does that high value woman, how does she decide where she's going to put her time and attention to next when it comes to connecting with amazing women. And so I have my notes, and I also have a fun topic for you in terms of, how I am starting to assess and shift how I do this particular community in the digital business. And also, whenever we meet offline, you guys know I sometimes host live events as well. And right now, you guys are able to work with me one-on-one live. And so I'm going to talk about how, each woman identifies where she is in our community and how to transition there. But overall, how does a high value woman connect with other amazing women? And so the very first thing that I think, okay, so you guys make sure to put your thoughts in the comment as well, because I know a lot of you are all, I think you should consider yourself a high value woman if you're on this journey of growth, because you're eventually going to get there, right? So you need to start identifying with the language that we talk about. But I wrote down my thoughts on how a high value woman connects in new community. And for me, because I believe that there are three foundational areas of life, and you guys know that I teach this, there are three foundational areas to your personal life as a woman, right? For me, it is self-care, and under self-care, that is my emotional life, what's going on with my feelings, my thought life, what's going on with my mindset, my awareness. Also my spiritual life, what's going on in my relationship with God. And those areas really do make up the self, right? And so at the end of the day, when I am looking at community, when I'm looking at connecting with women, I always want to connect with women who have a wonderful relationship with their self-care, right? Because what I have found is that when a woman isn't taking care of herself to the greatest ability, And maybe not, you're not perfect or whatever else, but when she's not putting herself on her own calendar, when she's not reinvesting in herself, spending time by herself, doing her journaling, going to therapy when she needs to, hiring the coaches that she needs to in order to get to those next levels in her life, I have recognized that those women tend to be the relationships that I have struggled with the most in my past. And the reason why is because those women tend to have a lot of like deep seated emotional and mental issues that they're not as aware of. Like, they're not bad women. A lot of them, a lot of relationships in my past that I have had to choose to let go of as a result of them not investing in their self-care, they were not bad women, right? They just, I think, were more immature women and just weren't ready to confront some of their issues. But as a high value woman, I want to be around women who have enough self-awareness and enough, couth about themselves, whereby they are mindful of how they're treating others. And very often they're mindful of how they're treating others because they've done their own inner work. They're mindful of how they treat themselves. They're very gentle with themselves. They're forgiving with themselves. They are able to, you know, open up and say what it is that they need and what they want, and you don't have to play like a guessing game. These are women who, a lot of the women in my circle often, they tell the truth. They're very honest women. I'm not, and they're honest, but they're not harsh or hurtful, or they're not trying to harm you, because you have that other side too. And so I think one of the first things that you do whenever you are, deciding to come to this next level is you find women who are investing in their self-care as well. I would say right now, it depends on your age, but at the age that I'm in, I need you to be investing in your emotional self-care more than maybe even the other two, right? Because maybe, like, for me, I had a baby, so you're getting your body back together. You may not be in tip-top physical shape, spiritually. Maybe you don't believe what I believe about God, but maybe you have a certain moral code that you identify with. I'm able to work with those women, but I'm finding it extremely hard that if a woman is not really healthy in her feelings, if she's not healthy there, I'm finding it really hard to connect with her on a deeper level right now. I'm like, sis, you got to deal with your feelings. And I'm not talking about, like, your closest friends who are calling you maybe to have a little girl talk or vent or something like that. But I'm talking about those people who, like, girl, we went out to dinner and we were having a good time, and then all of a sudden she picked a fight and y'all are at the table. This literally happened to me some years ago, actually, with a lady who, presented very well, but once you got to know her better, she had a lot of deep emotional issues. We were at dinner. There were several of us at the table. We had had a good night, and honey, all of a sudden, the whole night she had been kind of like keeping score with different things that people had done. And when we got to drinks, we had gone to several places, and we decided to end the night getting drinks at one of the fun restaurants in my city. And oh my God, it's like she unleashed, and everybody was like, what in the world are you talking about? We've had an amazing night. How in the world how did you even take these things and what you're saying? Why are they even an issue? But I recognize that she had a lot of deep-seated emotional wounds, and so that relationship just did not pan out in my life. So one, deal with your self-care. Number two, you guys know that I also teach the second area of your personal life that you have to attend to is your money. And so I tend to also have a high value tribe that is really, really good with money. For me, I like to make sure that my money crew or my business crew, they are women that are very pretty much high earners. They earn a lot of money, and they do very well in the offensive area of money, because that's something that I know I've needed in my past, and I continue to need support in that area when I'm increasing my prices or whatever else. You guys know how we do as women. We want to shortchange ourselves. We want to be smaller than what we are. No, I have a crew of high value women who set prices, they change their prices, and they keep their prices at a very high level, because guess what? It takes money to take care of yourself. It takes money to live in this world. Your bills are faithful, so your income needs to be just as faithful, and in my experience and where I am in this level of abundance, it needs to be higher, like way significantly higher than the bills and the expenses that I have. I personally would love to get to the place, and that's what I'm continuing to tell myself, where I'm earning 10 times the amount of whatever it is that comes in, right? I'm definitely a very profitable person, so I say I'm probably about 2 to 3 times more. That's what comes into my life now. But I have business women in my life who earn 10, 12, 15 times more than anything that they spend, right? If they go drop $300 on a spa treatment or a service, they made $6,000, before the end of the day, right? And so that's where I am in terms of connecting with women at that level. But even if you're not at that level, I want you to still plug into this community, because you will eventually get there. If what I say and what I speaks to you, eventually you're going to begin to do the inner work and pick up on the nuggets that will shift you in that direction. The third area, excuse me, that I teach for my courses, and also that I coach you guys in, but that I also have a high value tribe around, is around my romantic life. And what do I mean when I say this? I try to surround myself with women who are in number, I'm a married woman, and so I have friends that are single. That's not what I'm saying. But I tend to surround myself with women who have a very positive outlook on marriage, even if they are single. I surround myself with women who have either healthy relationships with men, or they're working to have a healthy relationship with their husband. They are not stuck in these like miserable, crazy relationships. I tend to connect with women who are like, if they are in a relationship with a man and it's getting unhealthy for too long, they begin to make their exit strategy, whether they're married or not. They have the contingency of like, I am not going to like live my life in misery trying to hold on to a relationship. They have a very high level of self-esteem. And so, guys know I'm not teaching leave your husband or anything like that. But if you and your husband are not able to work certain things out, whether they're married or single, they respect the freedoms of everybody, but they know that they want to continue to have an amazing relationship with a man or with their significant other. If they're in a same-sex relationship, generally someone's the feminine and someone's the masculine, and healthy interactions with those. And so though the women I attract and the women that I connect with around a healthy romantic life are very positive in that area, despite what their actual individual romantic statuses are. Does that make sense? Put it in the chat if I was confused. I'll put a clarifying question, no matter if you're watching the replay or if you're here with us live, because I'm trying to practice going live. I don't tell y'all, but I'm just going to practice before I tell y'all to make sure I can sustain it. But if you're single, married, divorced, in between, trying to figure it out, it's complicated. I tend to plug into communities with women who are like, one, we're going to get to clarity. Either we're going to be single, happily married, or divorced. We don't really linger in that miserable emotional purgatory of relationship statuses. That's just hell on wheels, right? Or they are trying to get to that place. So if they're in a purgatory like experience, they are in therapy trying to work through it. They're working through it with the other person, or they're just living their blissful, happy married life, right? And so those are the 3 areas that I plug into community with, and I also teach you guys on. So if you're looking for a community to join, we're open. Hey, come to my YouTube channel. Make sure you follow me on Instagram at Lyndosha. Comment. Let me know what spoke to you. Let me, introduce yourself in the DMs or in my DM or under the chat. Hey, I'm such and such, and this is where I'm from. And I'm here on this channel to do what? Like, put that in the comments if you're watching this. And so one of the things I want you to be able to do, though, with coming into the community, I realized that we needed this after talking to one of the ladies that I love here on Instagram and kind of watching how she navigated her channel, is she has a place for you to plug yourself in and like self-diagnose where you are. just as a woman and on your personal growth journey. And I thought that that was just such a wonderful idea. And so I wanted to do that for this community as well. I want you guys to tell me also in the chat, where do you identify um, you are on your personal growth journey? And I've done this before, so I'm trying to remember the older names, but I believe that I want to transition the names to make sure that they help you identify yourself better, right? So there are those of you who are in that first stage of learning as it relates to your personal development, and whether it's your self-care, your money, or your romantic life, which are the three areas that I focus on. I want you guys to let me know where you think you are. So if you're in your first stage, you are either first learning, you're young, maybe you're in your 20s, your early 20s, you might even be a teenager. You would consider yourself to be a baby in the area of personal development and self-growth. You're just getting started, and or in one area or another, you're maybe getting started again. So if you are more seasoned in life in your age, then you are getting started again, maybe after a divorce, maybe after a huge financial setback, or after a baby. You're reinvesting in your self-care. I just had a baby, so in some levels I'm a baby again, resetting and refocusing on my foundation in self-care after having a baby, especially with my body, and resetting my emotions as a new mom. It's a whole process. And so this group of women, you're called the level up ladies. I called you guys stars in the past, but I don't think that that really connected. But my level up ladies, you're at your number one. You're like, I'm ready for my level up journey. I'm getting to my next level. I'm getting to my best postpartum body, right? In that first level. My second stage is you guys are beginning to intermediate, right? You guys have done some work in one of these three areas, but you are literally, like, there are areas where you kind of get stuck. So you're very, active. You are generally very hard workers. You have a strong sense of power. You have a strong sense of what you want to be success. A lot of my ladies in my second group, you guys have come from more masculine paradigms with work, so you may overwork yourself. I know, because I've been there, and I don't do that anymore. I embed rest in my schedule all the time now. But you may overwork yourself. You have leaned into your masculine a lot. You may even have struggled with, like, really putting yourself together, really identifying with more feminine, girly things, right? Me and my angel earrings. These are my angel earrings, y'all. Y'all like them? I love, love, love these earrings. But, you kind of identify with you don't necessarily connect as easily with your playful side. Hard worker, you can get those masculine things done with your money, but with your romantic life, you don't know how to lean into your femininity. You don't know how to rest in that. You don't know how to let men lead, those kinds of things. But you're aware. And so I'm calling you guys my conscious cuties. Y'all like that? Tell me if you like that or not. Maybe you don't, but let me know. And I used to call you my bosses, but I wanted to get a more feminine name because I feel like boss, everything is like kind of overdone right now. My third levels, you are beautiful women. You guys are definitely in your intermediate to advanced stage. You're in your intermediate to advanced stage, and you guys are literally in that stage where you are definitely open to your abundance. You're in your abundance phase. You're making money. You are open to all of the conversations around riches. You are ready for your rich girl lifestyle. If you're not already in it, you are embracing your rich girl era, as we have talked about. You are not afraid to talk about money. You are not afraid to talk about investments, finances, status, none of that. You are, and of course, you do that in safe spaces, right? So I'm not just saying you out here telling the streets you got money, but you do it in safe spaces. You are women who are very confident in the money you make, and also you are growing in that ability, right? So some of you are like me, where you are moving into that next really, really big level when it comes to money making. Maybe you're moving from 4 figures to 5 figures, from 5 figures to 6 figures, from 6 figures to 7 figures, from 7 to 8, 8 to 9, 9 to 10, etc. And you are just, opening yourself to these new levels. I know I have some business friends who are in that, going into the 8 figure level and wanting to hit the 9 figure. I mean, they're getting flued out, and not flued out on Delta and all that, but I'm talking private planes are coming to get them for business meetings, and they're really investing in that part of them that, just is killing the money game, right? So you're there. You are my rich beauties, is what I'm calling you, my rich beauties. My rich beauties, you guys are like me in that we have to take a certain care for our appearance, right? It doesn't mean that what you're wearing has to be expensive, but you have to be mindful of how you show up. And you have to present yourself a certain way just simply because of the types of clients that you're entertaining, the types of people that you're dealing with. You show up in a bit more of a polished way sometimes, or in an elevated way. You're definitely killing your elevation journey right now. As it relates to self-care, my ladies in level 3, level 1, you guys may still be at like some of the you get a lot of your self-care items from your local grocery stores, your CVS's, your Targets. Nothing is wrong with that, okay? A lot of my basic self-care items, when I was in level 1, I still use some of those items. I'm such a fan of my Clean and Clear blackhead eraser. Nothing else works. It doesn't matter how much money I get and what I try, it just works. So it is literally in my shower, right? So there's no like, oh, one is better than the other. Like, it's just on your journey, you pick up things that work and you keep them. So that's where you're shopping for your self-care. My level 2 ladies, you're probably in your department stores. You get picking up your Lancome. You're at the department counters. For my level 3 ladies, you are in private spas, right? That's a lot of my life right now. A lot of my self-care products, I have to go to a spa in order to purchase them. I found what really works for my skin at a higher level, and that's just simply because I have built the income to be able to invest in that. And so for self-care, that's where my level 3s are. So let me know where you identify. And then my level 4s, I cannot remember. We called my level 3s money making women in the past, but I really want to adjust you guys to my rich beauties. But I may go interchange with them. With number 4, you guys, this is your last level. This is your Oprah level of personal development, right? We can only wish to get there to our Oprah level. That's where I hope to get before I die, at my Oprah level. But this is where you have mastered money galore. You have mastered self-care galore. You have mastered your spirituality galore, right? Even though I don't know if Oprah identifies with a certain religion or not, but you can tell that Oprah has a very deep connection with God, with the things that are divine and holy. She has no problem talking about God and spiritual things. And so she's at her level 4. Some of you at your level 4 will identify heavily with a religion. Some of you may not. I do. I found God through my Christian faith, right? So you guys know that I teach that. I am a person who my faith centers around the person of Christ. But my faith doesn't center around like a church or a religious system. But it does center around the teachings of Christ as an elevated teacher. But I also have read, the Tao, and I'm actually reading a book about the Tao now. I pull from Buddhism in certain things and other religions that I have investigated in my personal time. It's just the thing that speaks to me at the highest level is the message of Christ. And so I welcome all of you guys. You can believe in a religion or not. It doesn't matter to me. But either way, you're level 4. You have settled that with God, you're making money. Your self-care is where it needs to be. You exist in a very peaceful state and you teach from there. I love my level 4. I have a very strong relationship with God, very strong relationship with divine things. And so I'm often teaching you guys from level 4 Lyndosha, even though my level 3, my rich beauty, my money making woman stage, is something that I am investing in very heavily, because I want to make sure that the provision for my visions are what they need to be, and I'm asking God to bless me however He wants. Right, I'm taking my foot off of His neck. He can bless me through real estate, through stocks, through the law, through my husband's businesses, through avenues and methods I've never even heard of. That is just where my rich girl energy is right now. And so I wanted to talk to you guys about that. Let me know where you are in your journey. And then we will this year use a lot of these, the level 1, 2, 3, and 4, to talk about the programs and to discuss just a lot of the things that I see. I look forward to spending more time with you guys this year. I actually am going to get ready to head out and head to dinner and enjoy that pleasure. And also remember that I am also doing the Get Your Year Together Girl. So I, of course, do it live. You can come to Atlanta and do it live with me. But if you're like, girl, I cannot make it to Atlanta, but I really want to work with you one-on-one to get my plan for my year together, get your year excited and together, girl. Today's the first day of this year. I know I've already gotten my year together. I have my 80-20 down. I know what my top priorities are, and I am, in a very restful state with that. And I'm excited to see what this year will unfold, and I look forward to sharing all of the journey with you. You guys know that I am making some major moves this year in the area of real estate. So I'm asking God to bless that area. But if He blesses another area, like I told you, we open. So you guys have a wonderful and happy new year. Email me at lyndosha@gmail.com if you have any questions. And also, whenever you want to get your year together this year, email us. Get 2 to 3 dates together that you really want to work. Do 2 to 3. Don't send one, please, because my schedule may not be able to accommodate that level of specificity. But send 2 to 3 dates within a month's period or a 6-week period where you would like to get it done, especially if you're coming to Atlanta. If you want a virtual date, then I just need a few weeks, because generally we can get that day together within a few weeks if it's only virtual. Okay, so I look forward to hearing from you guys and seeing all of the abundant, beautiful things God is going to do. And I just pronounce such blessings over you. And I hope you are celebrating today and not sad. Okay, all right, bye, y'all.